So, you know, diving your tower like that and throwing the game away would be absolutely tragic for the losing team. So the draft has started. Super's not in his chair. He just walked past, and he did us the courtesy of not walking behind the camera. So we'll see him in 20 minutes as he walks the opposite way around the stadium here. Oh, he's making it. There he is on camera.
He's trotting. All right, game 3, the final match of the evening. The winner of this secures a slot in the grand finals, and the loser, well, they'll live to fight another day in that lower bracket finals coming up tomorrow. Queen of Pain and Storm, the first 2 bans for IG. Vici, they take out Sniper, and they'll think about their second.
Troll? They're going to let through Batrider then. I don't know if they want to do that against IG. In my opinion, not really. I don't know. It's a hero that, based on playstyle, should actually fit Lure. There we go. Okay.
Shadow Fiend ban?
Never mind. How good is Luo on Batrider?
Not sure.
Does he have like?
You know, it's banned out so often that I don't see him play it much at all.
I mean, he doesn't want it. They are going to overall first pick the Troll, so this means there is a Batrider for XII who plays it phenomenally, at least in the past. Like you said, it's been banned a lot, but XII is very good on this type of hero that can go for those, I want to say the flanking plays and coming from surprising angles. He's very, very good at finding openings on the map that other players won't really consider going for, or maybe not even see being a possibility. Pretty good foresight and willing to camp off a bit. Okay, right, they're going to grab Venge. So maybe they don't want Batrider themselves, but just want to prepare for it. Whoa,
wow,
okay.
Well, Vici really switched this up.
Immediate counter pick to the Troll Warlord. They want to prepare for this. They want to give Hao some confidence going into this game. He just had a bad Troll game. He might have been like, give me PL.
Now, I don't know that we need to assume that this is the Hao hero. As we talked about, I think yesterday, it could be an offlaner for XII. It's a fairly 50-50 matchup here, and leaves things open-ended for Vici Gaming, but there's the good old Space Cow once again. If it worked once, maybe it'll work twice.
The thing that's different this time around is they have Battle Trance for Spirit Breaker, so he's actually even stronger when it comes to these engages. But
yeah,
I do believe Doppelganger removes charge.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
If the charge is connecting as you're doppelganging, you'll be immune. But if it lasts until afterwards, you know which one's the real one. It's actually a great peel counter. So
interesting. Okay. So it kind of goes both ways, but maybe favoring Spirit Breaker a bit more.
Yeah. If he pops it too early, Spirit Breaker is connecting. It's one of the best things about Spirit Breaker is that heroes that are normally evasive with blinks and escapes, he just keeps going, man.
Okay, so it's similar to Manta dodging in the sense that you can do really clutch things that's just very, very difficult to do on the fly.
Yeah.
If you told me 1 month ago that Spirit Breaker would become a first phase pick, I would be like, what buff did he get in 684? I mean, it's pretty incredible to see how a hero that was widely regarded as being pretty shit, to be honest, was suddenly been gaining a lot of popularity. It's I want to say the biggest change in metagame that I can think of during this version, without any patching at all, has just been the focus on getting vision and control of the opponents. Has really given Zeus and Spirit Breaker a resurgence in picks, which is cool to see. I mean, Spirit Breaker is a very entertaining hero to watch.
Oh yeah,
makes for some great action-packed Dota.
Don't you? Whenever I see people playing him, I'm like, that guy must be so bored right now. Like, he's just sitting at his computer, getting ready to press E and left click, and then that's pretty much it.
I like playing Spirit Breaker. It's fun.
God, I have no idea why. He attacks so slow, man.
Well, he's got a troll on his team, so that'll help him out a little bit.
That's true.
I just realized IG have 2 bashes.
The Bash Lords.
That can actually get really mentally frustrating to play against these heroes, where you feel like
just that RNG factor.
You always feel like the luck is against you when statistically it's like, you know, maybe it is. Oh, wow. Okay, that's something new.
Very surprising here. We talked a little bit about just the change in recent picks away from heroes that have these big, long cooldowns. And we have seen Tide, I don't think, picked or banned a couple times. I haven't seen him played yet. And I think that secures PL as the position 1 for Hao.
There's actually a really nice idea from Vici Gaming. Anchor Smash ruins melee cores. Both Troll and Spirit Breaker will be interested in coming up close and personal, and then Anchor Smash is great. And Kraken Shell disallows Spirit Breaker from shutting you down entirely. He can charge you, he can ulti you, but then when it breaks, you can get your Ravage off. Okay, maybe if they layer it very nicely here, they can just blow him up before he even casts Ravage with the Laguna Blade. But
possibly. A little bit of fun synergy there with Lina and Troll Warlord. Again, the attack speed buff, she's benefits from that as well.
That's true. She can hit super fast, actually.
Machine Gun
reach
Lena.
like max attack speed almost.
Yeah, NIP used to do that. Troll Warlord, Lena, Ogre kind of a build, which is overkill. It's a little gimmicky. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a winning strategy, but conceptually it's quite fun.
That's really cool, actually.
They've done it a number of times, yeah.
So Magnus ban, Witch Doctor ban, Zeus ban, Broodmother ban. Again, fearing Ice Broodmother, which I think is pretty fair here. Pretty much every brood we've seen today has been relevant in almost all cases.
Even the ones that have been quote-unquote shut down have done amazing.
They fed gold, and then they're like, okay, well, we're still going to farm really fast, and we're still going to push your towers, and we're still going to be a threat in the late game.
So VICI will be looking for another support, and their mid laner here.
I think it's time to pull out the FY Sand King when it really matters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already picking weird heroes. Why not go all the way? They're probably not going to ban Batrider, I guess, because they first picked the Venge. That was kind of like a way to cover a ban there. But yeah, you know what? They're going with my strategy. Just pick weird heroes that nobody plays right now.
All right, so there's some merit to this Invoker. I'm almost 100% sure it's a Quasso X, and
Really?
Tornado EMP destroys Spirit Breaker. You
Yeah,
see him
that's
charging in, you stop the charge, you burn his mana, and he's actually just like
A worthless hero.
What do I do?
He's like a block.
He's a
in
drum
the
of
middle.
endurance with a bash, basically.
Yeah.
That is a good reduction,
That's what
sir. I guess he still gets the ult from Troll, so he can just kind of close his eyes and swing away, hope for the bashes.
Yeah, Cold Snap is super annoying too.
That's a fair point.
And Cold Snap with PL. Very nice synergy. There's a lot of interesting synergy here with the Invoker. I like VICI Gaming thinking outside the box. And another thing I would like to see them grabbing the Sand King for here is when it comes to how we see Spirit Breaker dominating games, both against Alliance and now in the last game against VICI Gaming, it's when they get ahead and they can't fight back, they just keep getting run over and over again. So you want heroes that can actually take advantage of the fact that the enemy team wants to go aggressive on you and get a turnaround. And a Sand King with a Blink Dagger can really take advantage of, like Spirit Breaker, if he wants to initiate and go on a target, the fight will break out, you channel an epicenter from the high ground, you blink in, maybe you get a 2 or 3 hero burst strike, and all of a sudden the fight is amazing for you. And now with Invoker, kind of a similar story, right? You let the fight develop a little bit. Once it's set up nicely, you can land a Tornado EMP into a Ravage, and it's way less situational than the Magnus we saw last game, who's more dependent on clustering up both Ravage and EMP, very big AoEs.
Even Troll has pretty decent mana problems in the early game. He's got terrible int gain. Until he builds something like Scotty, his int pool or his mana pool is really low. So if he does get hit by an EMP, doesn't get to throw out axes, well, we won't see a blind. Maybe it might even limit him on him popping his ultimate. So mana drain on that hero is really important too. So the EMP could really be big here, you're right.
Okay. Final bans around the corner. Brewmaster, the final hero taken out of the pool by VICI. And IG will think about this. It will be a support of sorts. You mentioned the Sand King. Dare I mention the Lion that we've talked about so much and have not seen at all?
Could be a good pick.
I think so. Skywrath also in the pool. We've seen him a fair bit.
Support Anti-Mage. You burn the mana with EMP and then you Mana Void.
You're so right.
The K-Pop Tosis calls that the fighting anti-mage build.
I call it shit.
I think it doubles as both. Shen, the final ban here from IG. So greedier support they could have put in the jungle. Would have fit well in this total change of pace from VICI with their first 4 picks.
Let's think about what options there are that FY likes to pick for himself. There's the Shaker, the Sand King. The Rubik has already been taken. They do occasionally play Witch Doctor, but that's banned by themselves. What really remains here? Skywrath Mage wasn't, like, he was okay in the last game, doesn't have the, he's okay synergy with his team, I guess, but
they don't have that much magic burst.
No, I don't think this is a Skywrath game.
I
really think the Lion, though. I've
really
said
good.
that consistently and been wrong.
Here we go, and
Crystal Maiden.
What a blast from the past. Holy crap, what is this draft, man?
I don't know.
Didn't you just tell me that Crystal Maiden is a terrible hero a day ago?
all right, so
I think we had this discussion,
we
yeah.
were literally just talking about shit, and then they picked
I don't think she's that bad, personally. She obviously has some mana issues, but her ultimate has been buffed in pretty good ways, and Frostbite
range
has
is
a
huge.
really big uptime, which counters Spirit Breaker in a lot of ways. He won't have BKB for very often. He can still ulti through it, and can you charge through it as well? I'm not sure, but
Yes.
her disables are also pretty good against a core Lina. If Lina's not moving, she can very easily be killed by some of the other heroes. So I don't know. I feel like CM has some options here. She can roam really good early. She gives everybody mana. That should give Tidehunter a much better lane. It's a hero that has some mana problems where he grabs Arcane Boots or Bottle. Phantom Lancer is going to be a little mana limited depending on what build he goes. So there's some good things that Crystal Maiden does this game. I think she's okay here. She's okay against those heroes until Troll Warlord gets BKB, or as long as somebody backs her up the Spirit Breaker charges her, it's going to be okay.
So what I'm wondering is, why do they pick CM? Let's talk about the alternatives. Shaker, Sand King as the main ones we mentioned, and Lion. Like, how is CM better than Lion against the Dire lineup? Is my question. Like, Frostbite is great against Spirit Breaker, so is Hex, so is Earth Spike. Finger of Death is an amazing tool against Troll Warlord. Like, the only thing I feel like CM really brings to the table when it comes to this comparison with Lion is she is better at the super early game harassment because Frostbite is incredible, and maybe they're looking to shut Luo entirely out of the game, just keep him away with Frostbite from level 1 so he never becomes strong. She can jungle a bit, which is a nice benefit. And then, like you said, the aura, I feel like the Crystal Maiden aura is very underwhelming in the latest versions. Like, it's not really that important. Most heroes just get like a Soul Ring or Arcanes on the Tidehunter, for example, and you don't really need it on Invoker. It's nice, but it's not a requirement.
And heroes that were traditionally mana-starved now have that option of going side lane Bottle with the rune changes to Bounty, so even...
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. We'll see how it works out as we load into our third and final game. So...
I want to see it work.
Final predictions based on the draft. Not initial predictions. What do you think? Who's got the better draft here?
Better draft? Oh, Vici, IG has a better draft.
I'm gonna jump on the Vici bandwagon because I love the draft.
All right, the old flipperoo. I like this. David and David, take it away.
All right. Well, clearly these guys have no idea who they want to root for.
I think Kevin's happy because Vici have some pretty cosmetics again. This Crystal Maiden is sporting all kinds of nice hats, so I know why he likes Vici Gaming at least.
That courier is very distracting, but it is cute, that's for sure. All right, well, with that said, guys, let's go ahead and introduce the teams here as we will get underway. Chuan, he'll be playing the Rubik, makes an aggressive move in bottom like he wants to go. Burning on the Troll Warlord, a much more signature burning hero than that Lino we saw last game. Faith will be the one handling the Lino this time around. 430, this time looking to show off his TA. A hero that generally is not seen very much in this patch. And Luo, rounding out IG, will be on the Spirit Breaker. For Vici, we've got Super on an old classic, the Invoker. Ice will be playing the offlane Tidehunter. FY will be trying to show us how Crystal Maiden's still relevant. We'll have Hao playing the Phantom Lancer, and that does leave Fenrir on the bench.
Well, Vici Gaming think they have this top rune with IG's rotation down bottom, and they may be wrong on that account. Both bounty runes can be going IG's way.
Blessings.
Oh, that's a nice little way to start the game.
Yep. It was a nice move for IG. They swung through the bottom jungle. They knew that Vici Gaming have a pretty bad level 1 fighting lineup. Invoker just offering very next to nothing. Tide doesn't really want to go Gush, so they say, look, we've secured the Radiant jungle. They're not going to contest this bottom rune. Let's go secure top with 2 or 3 heroes as well.
And again, for IG, we're going to see a lot of early aggression here, GoDz, as they bring another tri-lane out on their off lane.
It worked so well for them last game, and normally I think of like Ice is one of the better 1v1 off-lane players, but I mean, Luo's really shown he can match up decently there, and Spirit Breaker, with greater bash being magic damage, can still do decent damage to Ice even against the Anchor Smash.
Yeah, that is true. At the same time, Tide generally fails pretty well against most melee heroes, so looks like Ice should be okay early on unless there's some
He's hoping for some bashes. He's hit him like 5-6 times and yet to get a bash, unfortunately, for Luo.
Well, that's about the normal amount of hits before you should get your first batch, so he's definitely not an RNG Lord yet.
Not yet. It'll happen when Ice is like at the least opportune time, especially when the Orb of Venom comes up. That's when the threat really comes out for Luo to get a couple bashes and get a kill.
Yeah, it's just like once you get comfortable, you know, he's not bashing, all of a sudden, bam, 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 yep. You've lost half your health.
So CM going level 1 jungle, Frostbite into Arcane Aura. Not going for Nova at level 2 means we're unlikely to see any really early ganks or rotations toward the mid lane. I think that's where TA was a good pick as well, because it's a hero that CM can't really smoke gank even with Nova plus Frostbite.
Yeah, you're running a Quasflex Invoker with the CM. Those two are not killing a TA, not unless she's really far out of position. So it looks like early on we're going to see a CS advantage here for 430. He's doubling the last hits of the Invoker. Pretty much what you expect. This is generally a matchup where Invoker struggles, especially at the early levels. But For Super, it's more just get the levels, look to have a big impact later on with your basic items as well as the EMP Tornado.
Yeah, absolutely. One of Invoker's hardest matchups mid lane, especially the Quaswex Invoker, so I imagine he'll continue to struggle. I like what IG are doing, pressuring House Farm, though. He's sitting on just 5 CS currently, so not getting much out of this bottom lane, and not likely to change anytime soon as Chuan looking to return and continue this aggro tri-lane down bottom. And the other big thing is VICI Gaming just not having their pool camp available right now. Makes life a lot harder for this bottom lane farm for the PL when you can't use the pull camp to pull things back.
Have they bought any sentries yet? Or I guess with the CM jungling, they just don't hugely care. I'm not sure. Well, at this point, you would see the sentries, but at least they're getting some experience on the CM. And
Yeah.
looking at farm for the 2 carries. For now, it seems Burning getting a very slight advantage, but overall, it feels like the main area where Vici are coming out on top right now is just that experience advantage. To the extent the CM's in the jungle, but FY, he's started to just camp out the bottom lane. Seems like they're more tri-laning than trying to abuse the CM's jungle potential.
And meanwhile, top lane XII is starting to pull ahead on last hits as well. Got a 4 CS lead for now, but Luo just not getting the bash swing needed to and just prioritizing the harass more than last hitting from time to time. But I don't think this is going to be a lead that continues to grow for XII by any means.
There's your bash, #1. Are we going to see a second, Luo? He's praying.
He's the tightest boots, Luo does not, so.
He could buy him now if he
this
wants
is
to. Not spending his gold just yet.
Normally time you'd want to pick some up, but we'll see. Not yet.
Here comes another Lance. IG, though, hanging tight here. And that is the one area where Vici can be annoying in this tri-lane, is with the CM as kind of the X factor. PL, later on in the game, really doesn't need the aura, but at this stage, it's a huge boon for him. Now gets the Ring of Basilius, so he can start looking to spam IG out of this lane a bit. Kind of like the way we used to see Keeper of the Light used back when he was a real popular hero in tri-lanes.
That's where Burning picks up the early stick, though, to try and make up for that a bit. But yeah, his HP regen is very lacking at the moment.
Super going to find a haste room, but an uncooperative Dire Creep will scout this out, so
he's doing so well mid lane. 15 CS to TA's 19-20 CS. I remember going back to TI2, seeing the Invoker versus TA matchups then, where I think it was Bulba on Invoker 1 game against 430's TA, where it was like 5 CS to 40 CS. And
he still gets flamed on NA Dota to this day.
It's a game Bulba's never going to forget. No one's ever going to let him forget it as well. But I mean, it's a complete mismatch. Complete mismatch. And that was TA back when Refraction was 75 mana, was a lot more spammable, to be fair, and TA not quite the lane dominator he used to be.
Oh, 430 looking to get aggressive here, dive super. There is no Cold Snap Invoke available. We'll make it out in the end, but yeah, that was also when the side blades were a bit broken. They had a larger splash AoE than they were supposed to, so it was very easy to get those splash shots off. For now, though, a quiet start here, GoDz, in our deciding Game 3. Winner of this will move along to the Grand Finals here, by the way, for anyone who's wondering what the stakes are. They're pretty big. You're guaranteed top 2, a lot more prize money, and you get the easy road tomorrow. You get to sit back, watch the lower bracket finals, get your rest, and you have the 1-game advantage.
Yeah, so both top laners about to hit level 6. Luo just 1 creep away. He could go for a TP towards bottom lane and look for a charge. There's Frostbite as well as Magic Missile, but if you use the tree line nicely or have your teammates go in first to soak up those spells, could find a kill there. He'll have charge and Nether Strike available.
You definitely want to do it when Vici are close to your tower. If you do it when they're too far away, then XII will also TP in, and
here we go. He's TPing. As soon as he hits 6, he TPs in, charging into the jungle.
Oh, I don't know if they want to dive this. XII can join this, and this is very risky by Luo. They throw out the Wave of Terror. In comes the counter TP. This may be multiple heroes going down. Ravage on to 3 by XII. How? Gonna bring down 1. Making a second one. Chuan will fall. They gush Burning. Can they kill him too? They've got a Frostbite. It's a complete train wreck in the bottom lane as Super looks to clean up a 4th hero. He's got the EMP Tornado. Not gonna dive onto Faith. That was very ill-advised by IG.
I think Vici Gaming just read that perfectly. XII told his team that the TP was there on Spirit Breaker. It's likely to be a TP bottom lane. You can't really charge an Invoker with Tornado. And he was ready to TP himself. The biggest play he made was TPing over the trees. I don't think IG saw his TP coming in because they grouped up for that Ravage as if they had no idea it was coming their way. And I think it was completely hidden by the tree line.
Yeah, they really embraced the Ravage. They were riding the wave, but not in the good way. Well, with that, Vici Gaming getting great utility out of their offlane Tide as the charge will be cancel mid. 430 still wants to dive and look to punish this. There is an Invoke available. Could Ghost Walk or could Cold Snap, and it's Cold Snap he wants. Chasing 430, he'll go down. Overextends on the mid lane, not respecting the counter gank potential of the Invoker, and you know, it's really what Cinderin was talking about. It's just how good Invoker can be against Spirit Breaker. It's almost impossible, really, to charge this guy. Unless you have a BKB, he can Tornado you, he can Cold Snap you, and you're just not getting any easy kills on him.
They've got 3 pretty spammable spells in Frostbite, Missile, as well as the Tornado, which can all easily stop the charge. Even the Cold Snap from Invoker, another great spell at doing that. So,
and it's a little worrying for IG. If they don't find kills and spread the map, and they're forced to 5v5, I do not see them winning those fights against Vici in the mid game. You've got EMP Tornado, Ravage, a lot of spammable nukes to help supplement and just follow up and chase after that. And really their strength is just roshing, farming, so it's split pushing, and especially just looking for those easy pickoffs.
Yeah, at this point they want to fall back on the hero that is Troll Warlord. His farming efficiency, his ability to take down stacks, but he can't do that until he catches up a little bit. Right now he's playing from behind. The offensive trialing didn't work, and IG are probably kind of kicking themselves like we should maybe just lane this in a more standard way, with Troll getting the free farm top and then transitioning into the jungle. But for now, Burning has to kind of lane head-on against the Tidehunter, which isn't exactly a favorable matchup for him. And Tide going for a very tanky build. Treads, Wand, working towards a mech, not trying to go for a Blink Dagger, not even going for the Arcane Boots. This makes him so tanky. He's dropping items again. Ice.
Yeah, that's a rate of reader. Like, you drop your
just
items.
Mocking.
Ice. Well, it's all mine.
He's like, you want some HP regen to help you farm here? Here we go. I'll help you out.
Half a ring. Just kidding. Oh, let's see. With that Ice mech, it seems like Super will be freed up. May build the urn or drums here with this casual Gauntlet of Strength, but more importantly, we generally see that Orchid coming out as the first big item for Invoker.
Yeah, and he's farming well enough to, I think, still go for that. I'm wondering if it will be like an urn pick. He's got the urn already.
Okay. It's just a good item if you're going to fight a lot early, but he definitely does not need the mana regen. Has the CM already to help him out. And mid lane, EMP Tornado onto Chuan. Cold Snap is there, not quite enough damage, but he forces out a TP.
Yeah,
well done.
430, who was actually smoked up, looking for a gank towards mid lane.
They have a little bit of time left here. The charge is coming in. Super has nothing to cancel this. There's your charge. Opening finally found for Luo, but guess who's coming? It's Papa Watermelon. No, can we get here?
Such a long TP!
So it took so long, but they get 430 at least.
Fenrir TP'd in first, which kind of messed up the counter initiation, but Hao shows up, and he's going to clean up Faye. 3 for 1 in the mid lane. Invoker may go down. If Tide TP'd before the Venge, probably the Invoker lives, but either way, it's a great exchange for Vici Gaming.
They are just pressing so hard, GoDz. It really feels like IG are... It's partially their draft. They kind of have to go for these dives because they don't team fight that well. They're not in a position to walk into the Roche pit. And if they don't, at some point Vici starts 5-manning them. So it feels like they're kind of forced into it based on draft, but these openings are just... They're non-openings. They're not good opportunities to go for the tower dive.
And Ice now working on an Ancient Sack. Does get blocked out, so he won't be able to stack it any further, which will now get revealed to him after that failed stack. But even so, that's a decent amount there. He's going to salve up and only level 8. So just the 2 points in Anchor Smash, not really the most reliable way of farming. He has gone for this Max Kraken build, something which, I mean, this is, I think he kind of pioneered this ultra tanky Tidehunter build where you just mass up your survivability, go for this like even Kraken over Anchor Smash at times, and as a result, just get ridiculously survivable.
It will help ensure that he gets his mech off in the fights. And of course, he has already has the buckler, so he's basically invulnerable to these 8-shits, even just with the Kraken shell. He's going to be able to take them down. It will take a little bit longer, but we'll get them eventually. And it seems IG are not really able to punish this too much. Even though Ravage has been used, they're only just slightly teasing at a bottom push. There's no real tower damage done, and they're frankly afraid, GoDz. They just do not want to walk under a tower after the way this game has gone.
Both teams make a similar move here. It looks like Vici Gaming headed towards the mid lane, and 430. Better be careful.
Well, he's going to pop an Invis rune. Now comes the Tornado. Deftly dodge. They dust him. But guess who's coming? It's the Cow. He gets off the bash to start. Ice has no Ravage. This could finally be a good opportunity for IG. They're focusing Ice, but man, he is ungodly beefy. Do they even try to bring him down? They'll stun Super. Ice still at about half health. Has the mech even. And now a charge. Over the top. They get onto Super. That's the hero they want. They bring in the PL though now. Hal coming in. They have a Ravage in about 18 seconds. Will they get it off in time? Losing 430. The turn comes from Hal. Super juking. Still alive. Luo slowed down, kited, brought down, and IG just unable to find the kills. They've lost 3. It's going to be 4. And that was without a Ravage.
That fight went on so long that heroes just started respawning on the Radiant side. Crystal Maiden did buy back, but that's a Crystal Maiden buyback. You're not too worried about that. XII is just too tanky. The mech arrived mid-team fight as well, which was what saved Super's life on top of that. So
they cannot even waste right clicks or auto attacks or any kind of nuke on XII. He is not dying this game.
They had to run it super faster. They all tanked the EMP, and then as they chased, they were getting hit by Anchor Smash after Anchor Smash. They didn't have any right-click damage. If the EMP didn't come out and hit everyone, I think it would have gone a little bit better for IG. They probably kill Super and maybe don't take as much damage, but that result is looking fantastic for Vici, who won't get the T1 tower, but have a Ravage available.
Very nice stun there, but the Ravage even better. Finds 430. Luo next on the list, wants to charge instantly. Frostbitten canceled, and oh, Chuan, he couldn't steal the Ravage. Only an Anchor Smash. The pings come out from Vici Gods. They're barreling down mid. They don't really have a whole lot, but IG's got nothing.
The XII Tidehunter special.
They just can't fight 5v5. Draft-wise, gold-wise, they're not in position to do it.
All the items we see coming out for VG Gaming are to fight now as well. Hal picks up a drums, doesn't go for any Yasha farming items, doesn't get the Quelling Blade, doesn't get a Diffusal. He wants the aura for his team and just the ability to keep face rushing into IG.
Diffusal just feels like such a nice pickup here as the next big item. Not the best pure farming item for PL, but if you just want to keep on fighting, this item is going to do a lot of work, and I think they can keep on doing it.
Watching Burning just right-click XII sides.
It's almost like his auto attacks are healing him.
Yeah, it felt like he was doing no damage. At the same time, XII wasn't
and
really
guess what he's got? He's got a plate mail now.
I was about to say, like,
21 armor.
I'm looking at this like, it could go Blink, but where's the fun in Blink Dagger? Let's go full survivability mode. Probably goes for a Shiver's Guard off of this, or he just goes casual plate mail. But
I want to see just like the pure tank Tidehunter. No Blink Dagger this game. Just Shivas, get your AC, maybe pick up a pipe. Heart. Why the hell not? They're in really good position though. It's a 7.5k gold lead, but it's more just the way the lineups match up. It's very difficult for IG to fight. The charge going right through Super, but he's actually headed all the way top. I don't really know.
This is a charge that let's say. He was committing that for a lot longer than I felt comfortable watching.
I thought he was going to just turn on Super, who just keeps on walking right towards the Roach Pit. Wants to cancel this attempt. He will get swapped out. Well played by Fenrir. Then Ghost walking, kept alive, and they end up collecting a couple of kills. Now Hal charges forward. Doesn't even have the Diffusal yet before 30. Refraction burned almost instantly. Does nothing.
Oh, the charge, though, going to chase down Super. And Luo with a Nether Strike will get one to salvage things ever so slightly for IG, but...
Oh, there was a doppelganger there. Hal maybe could have gotten in range for a
DD.
Chase.
Is he going Wave of Terror plus DD? No, it's risky. You're worried about TA traps in the Roshan pit, among other things, and... yeah, not going to go for it.
It's just feeling like such a bad TA game without completely dominating the laning stage. Now you're up against PL, Invoker, so much crowd control, no BKB in sight. She's just not going to have any impact.
Oh, they cancel the charge as well. He doesn't charge after the Magic Missile. Luo brought down at bottom.
What are IG supposed to do at this point? They can't Roche, because Vici are always ready for it.
I think they
can't
need to
really
go
team
for Roche.
fight.
They need to go for like a sneaky smoke in there, maybe just TA. I mean, TA doesn't even have any farmer items. 0-5 Ferrari coming off a 19-0-11 Shadow Fiend performance is getting demolished here in Game 3.
Well, this is where the TA starts to struggle. If you don't snowball up to the laning stage, if you can't get the freebie Roche, you have a hard time getting stuff done. There's a swap bottom and also a dive onto Faith. We'll look at bottom real quick as Faith will die in the mid lane, Chuan will die in the bottom, and now 430 might be chased out as well. Well, they're not going to pursue any further. They'll take the tower instead. Make a kill for Hal. Unstoppable for Ice. Up to 1,700 gold. That Shiva's is coming real quick.
And Hal's Diffusal Blade just about to come online as well. Then you've got an additional slow that gives Hal a ton of solo kill potential. The Diffusal going to cripple the Templar Assassin especially as far as his mana pool goes. And even someone like a Spirit Breaker, you take away his mana, he can't charge escape.
That's a good point. And I really worry for IG because, gods, they have terrible high ground defense, to be honest. They have okay spam, but there's no real big, like, RP, Black Hole, Ravage, Hookshot Cogs. There's just nothing to scare you like, oh, crap, we might get caught there.
Yeah.
I feel like Vici can honestly go high ground with an Aegis.
I think IG have to try and sneak a Roshan at some point.
Another swap. This one finally burning, and, well, he gets some blind luck here, but not enough.
Yeah. At this point, IG just have to make really risky plays as to where they farm, where they go for kills. If they try and sneak a Roshan, they're plays which can horribly backfire and give Vici Gaming free kill after kill, possible Rosha's off of it, but that's your only option is to make these high-risk plays to turn this game around.
I just want to point out this Crystal Maiden for FY with the Midas. He's now more farmed than any hero on IG.
Oh, sad times. 430.
Misery would be so proud.
Yeah.
Hey, I invented that.
So Super just continuing to ghost walk around, look for kills, try and find pickoffs wherever he can, and I think around the Lina Medallion timing is where Lina and TA are going to go for a 2-hero smoke into Roshan. If your Troll and TA are missing, it's too obvious. They have to go for like as few heroes as possible, and that to me is Lina plus TA, 2-hero Roshan, while Troll shows somewhere else on the map to try and act as a bit of a decoy. Even then, like you get Roshan, you get Aegis, what are you doing with an Aegis? You're not really taking objectives or making much out of it. It's just a boost to your gold and that slight little safety net that it provides.
Yeah, I mean, as a commentator, you always want to look like, how can this team possibly turn it around? What's their chance? You don't want to say the game's over, but it's such extreme moves that are required by IG. It's not like, okay, just let's take one safe fight. Let's just find a pick off here. We have to do something super risky just to have a shot at prolonging the game.
This 4-hero smoke can't really go into Roshan. It's way too obvious. So Tornado just got flown out to scout things out. Now an Illusion's coming in as well.
Oh, no, they took the bait. It's going to redirect onto Super mid, and Lewis says, screw it. I'm going in. Tornado gets stolen, chucked out. Only going to hit the bench, though, as Ice marches in, holding the Ravage, not going to let it flow just for Luo, and he'll get clobbered. Chuan will be chased out, frostbitten and dealt with. And after this, Vici could just go down mid. The creeps are here. I don't even know if they bother with Roche.
Yeah, I think they may just look high ground. If IG see this, could try and make their way back to Roshan, but
it feels like that that game 3 at TI. Like they could go for Roche, but in the meantime, their base is dying.
Yeah. It's you go for Roshan, get an Aegis, you lose a Rax in the meanwhile. But can you even defend with these 3 heroes?
There's nothing they could do.
Burning's farming the Radiant jungle. TA's walking back to Fountain. They could have gone for Roshan. Not to say they should. I mean, I don't think it makes a difference. Either way, they're losing this mid lane of Rax, and they're in all sorts of deep shit right now.
What a just destructive way for this game to go. Vici Gaming just running over IG. It was a stomp for Vici in game 1, a stomp for IG in game 2, and it looks like Vici are going to finish it off with a stomp here in game 3. Ice. EMP not going to really get the job done, but he's got the Ravage. Lets it go on 3. Almost kills out Burning. And Fade. Burning, given mercy, allowed to walk away to the Fountain, but that's okay. That's a casual 19-minute rack. Said GG, Vici Gaming, guaranteed top 2 at yet another major tournament.
You know, it was getting late here in Bucharest. I was like, we've got a game 3 decided. We're going to go deep into the night. But no, Vici Gaming, like, we want to sleep. We want to just get prepared, get ourselves in the grand finals, and just put IG to rest here. That was just domination.
Hal's giggling. He's, man, this was too easy.
He's like, why were we picking PL first 2 picks more often, guys? Come on.
How can they stop us? They can't.
It's great to see a different style of draft works as well. It really shows that it's much more a play style thing, and this current patch is more movement-centric rather than hero-centric, when you can make Tide, PL, Invoker, CM, a draft around these kind of heroes work as well as it just did.
I mean, this is a matchup we might see again tomorrow. IG does drop down here, but they first team to take a game off of Vici Gaming at this tournament, GoDz, and it definitely feels like they could win that lower bracket finals, and we might see these teams go the distance in a best of 5.
Absolutely. You've got Cloud9 as the big contenders there. They're still battling it out against Tinker, I believe, in the lower bracket to kind of round out today, but I could see this being a kind of preview of the grand finals, unless Cloud9 has something to say about it. That to me is the one kind of big contender as far as the Western teams left in the tournament goes.
Well, they're the last bastion against potential Chinese dominance here at Starladder Season 12. And guys, with that, it looks like we're going to have a post-game interview here in just a moment. I think we're setting up on stage. Oh, it looks like we're actually ready. So we got Daryl. He'll be interviewed by Jay. Guys, take it away.
I'm sorry, there doesn't seem to be... Yeah, there we go. The video stream is up. And for the second time today, I'm joined by XII from Vici Gaming. An amazing performance on Tidehunter in the last game. Absolutely crushing. So was that something that you wanted to do as a definite end of today's match?
Not really. I just got pretty pissed at the second game because I felt a bit treated away. So I played really well.
Yeah, regarding the first 2 games, both you and IG going into this series have not lost a single match in the finals so far. So it looked like you traded blows and then went in all in the final game.
I think it's pretty good. That way, it's there's no stress or anything. I don't have to go like 3-0 in the finals.
All right, well, you get to relax, watch the games, and you get to go to the grand final guaranteed a top 2 finish at this Starladder. Are you satisfied with how the tournament is going so far?
I don't really like the lights. That's shining on my eyes, but everything is fine.
Well, I'm not going to hold you much longer. Guys, let's give it up for XII Gaming. Thank you, XII, for this very short interview. And we're going to go for a short commercial break, after which we will cut back to the analyst table for the one last roundup of the day. Thank you. Stay with us.
esportsbets.com, the service where gamers will bet real money on virtual events. Only here, the best odds and widest coverage of games from Dota 2 to Hearthstone.
We have over 200,000 users registered.
Join us. Prove that you are the best versed in esports. Who will get the first blood? Who will take the first Roshan? Who will win the knife round? Participate in the race of predictors and earn real money. The more bids, the more bonuses. Reward for your first deposit up to $600. esportsbets.com. Foresight, passion, and calculation.